A lace top like this is easy to adjust to different sizes. You can also use any other lacy square that you like to crochet. I used my favorite colors and took videos and photos in a rhododendron park because the colors went so well together. I considered making the sleeves longer, but at the end left them short like this. You could of course also make a crop top using this idea or make it longer. There's no sewing needed in making this. I'm first showing how the top is constructed, and at the end there's a tutorial about the square itself and how you join them as you go. This lace square has no name. I have taken ideas from several similar squares and then just used general crochet square stitches. I mainly used cotton yarns that I already had, just bought a few balls more. These are all 100% cotton, but there are many brands there. They are approximately the same weight, but in a project like this it didn't create problems that the yarns weren't exactly the same weight. All were okay to crochet on a 3.5mm hook. In my size, the top weighs more or less exactly 400 grams, or whatever you call that. I wasn't sure where I could spread this out so that I could show all of it at one go, but the rain stopped, so I'm out in the park at the moment. So we can see here how it is, and as I mentioned, all the bits have been joined in the last round, joined as we go. So there's no sewing at any stage here, apart from the yarn ends. And for my size, there's 7 this way, and of course the same in the back. And there's also 7 upwards, except that at the top half square, we'll look at that in a minute, and the length of the sleeve is only 1 square, because this here bit is already very far down on your shoulder. And as we look at it, you can see that there's no pattern forming from the different colors. That was very important for me. It actually is almost any time I make something with various colors. I don't want any stripes or diagonal stripes or whatever kind of a repeat. But if you prefer straight stripes or anything of that sort, you can easily do that as well. I have already found 2 unfinished yarn ends. Here's one. Have to get that done. But here we see the neckline. When I was first thinking of making this here, I thought I would need to make like half squares or something in here. But then at the end I didn't need to. It's just the way the square is. It sort of sits very nicely and rounded. And also at first I had 1 square less here at the top. But then that made it too tight around the neck. So that is the reason why there's a square here that is folded, so that half of it is in the front and half of it isn't in the back. So that means that for me the length is 7.5 squares. Each square looks like this here. So we start in the middle, and at the end there's these here things in each of the corner loops, as well as these here loops, and that's what we are going to use to attach the square directly to the next square in the last round. So there's no sewing at the end. So we start with a slip knot, and I'm not tightening the slip knot. So I'm leaving it like that there open. And that's chain 1 and then chain 5. 5 and then attach. The reason I left it like that so that there's not that big lump that you easily get at the beginning. Then chain 2 and make a double crochet into the ring, and I'm using American crochet terms. A double crochet is a treble in British crochet terms, and we crochet these 2 together. Then chain 5 and then after each loop we always have 2 double crochets together into the ring. So you start a double crochet and a second one, and when you have the 3 loops on the hook, you crochet them together. And the loops in between these, every second one has 5 chains and every other one has 3. So now 3 chains, chain 3, and then again 2 double crochets together. You will need to keep moving these and tightening these so that they fit there. So that was 5, this is 3, and now it's 5 again. And remember that it's easy to slow a video down in case I go too fast. You go to the settings. So you continue like this. Every second one has 5 chains and then 3 chains until you have 8 of these 2 double crochet bits. And then we'll look how we finish the round. Here I have 8 of these groups of double crochets, and then it forms already like a square because every second one of the longer loops is in the corners. And then we finish off. Instead of chaining 3, we want to be in the middle of the loop, so we just chain 1 and do a half double crochet at the start, into the start of the round. Half double crochet pulling straight through. So now we're here, ready to start the next row. Chain 1, half double crochet into that larger loop, I mean the next loop in front of you, and then chain 1 and a double crochet, chain 1 again and a double crochet. That's one side of that there longer loop, and if you're not here now in the middle of this chain loop, then you can move them a bit to the right, so we'll have room there. Then chain 2 at the top of this here, and going back the same but opposite. So 1 double crochet, chain 1, another double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet, chain 1, and now we have this smaller loop, so 1 single crochet into that, and that's what we repeat. So we'll do 4 corners like that there. In other words, I start with chaining 1, half double crochet, and so on, like that round. Getting to the end of that round now, and then chain 1 and a slip stitch to the start there, and then the third round, chain 5 and a double crochet in the same space where the chain starts, so we get that sort of a loop there, and then chain 4 and again chain 4, and then a single crochet in the same chain space at the top there, so it makes a sort of a small loop there, and then again chain 4 and a double crochet in the single crochet that we did in the middle there, chain 3 and a single crochet there in the same place again. So now we get in these here types of whatever you call them and this is what we repeat. So chain 4 there, chain 4 in there, and then to the next one again. So like that to the end, like this here, and now I have the final chain 4 there and go into the third stitch of this here design that we had in the beginning, and do a slip stitch, and then a slip stitch into that there as well in the middle, so we can be starting in the middle of that there V-shaped one. And now just one more round, so the fourth round, chain 7, and then we'll do the same type of 2 double crochets together that we had in the beginning. 2 there, so 2 double crochets and pull through all of those. Chain 3, we need to fit 3 of them there. Another one, and now we are at the corner, so when we look at this here, we are now here, so we need a longer loop at each corner. Chain 7, and then come back to the top of that there 2 double crochets. I would take this and that loops and a slip stitch there, and one more time chain 3 and another one of those 2 double crochets together in there. So that's what the corner looks like. And then chain 7 and a single crochet in the middle of that there chain loop that we have in the middle between the corners. So each corner is like that. So now you continue the same 7, chaining 7 and then making a corner like that. Here we are. I've gone right round, and then you finish the last 7 chains at the start of it, and then just pull the yarn through and finish it. Then you'll finish it off. About the starting ring here, I wasn't using the magic ring, but I did leave the slip knot untightened, which means that I can tighten it a bit now here. Just a bit like that there. And for finishing off, I use sharp needles. It's already gone round inside the stitches once. And now I'll insert the needle here and through as far as I can get it there, opposite to where it's come from. So it's very important that you skip some of these stitches here so that it doesn't go back from the same place where it started, and then just pull that there, tighten a bit, and then you can cut it. So here it is, and then we need to see how we attach these together. Here I have another square that I have worked so that I have one full corner done, and I'm in the second corner now, and I'm now going to attach it to the square we finished. So you see where I am at the moment in the corner. I'm in the second corner, and we are going to attach this now into the longer loop of the finished square. And to do that, instead of chaining 7 here, I'll just chain 3. And here it's important that you make sure that all the squares end up being the right way round. So to attach, turn the backs of them towards each other. So this is the front and that is the front. So take one corner and make a slip stitch there, not a tight one. And then chain 3 again. And now we return to this here one we are working on and finish the corner. So chain 3 and another one of those 2 double crochets together. And then we need to attach here. So again, instead of chaining 7, we chain 3. And checking that you haven't turned it around, take the other one and go into that large loop and make a single crochet in the middle of it, like that there. And then chain 3, and we return to this first one, and there's that there loop in the middle, halfway between the corners, so you go into that and a single crochet there. And then we go again back to the other one, chain 3, and now we take the second long loop there and make a single crochet in the middle of it, chain 3, and now we come to start the corner in the one that hasn't been finished yet. So first just the 2 double crochets together, chain 3, and then the second set of 2 double crochets. So we are in here like at the moment, and now we need to attach that other corner. So here we are again at the corner, and we chain 3 and go into that there big long corner loop and a single slip stitch there, and chain 3 and come back to this here one. So we see now that these are attached, and it's sort of very lazy that there's just big loops in there. And now you finish off the rest of the square just normally, and then I'll make another one here so that we'll have like a situation like this here, that we look how we do it then when we attach from 2 sides at the same time, because it's important that we always attach them right away so that we won't have any sewing to do at the end. So here we have 3 that are already attached, and then this here needs to be attached into that there corner. So again, chaining 3 before attaching that to the first corner loop in there. And again, make sure that the back sides are facing. So you work from the right hand side and into the first corner, and a slip stitch there, and chain 3 and back here. Again, chain 3 to finish off this here corner, and then chain 3, and now let's see where we are going just to make sure. So next we have to go into this here loop, and a single crochet and chain 3, and then come back to this one we are working on in the middle of the side, and 3, and the next one in the other square, and 3, and then we start the corner in the one we are working on. So that was the first set of double crochets, and now we come to the corner one and chain 3, and now here we need to attach that to here that already has 3 squares attached. So taking that like that there, and finding a place where I can get the hook through and make one more slip stitch in there, and then chain 3 and come back here again, And that corner continued. And now chain 3, and now we have to go straight on to this here one. So now we just finish it off by just the same way as we did before. So we attach it here, so we do the whole corner here at one go. There. And so on. The rest goes just normally. Make a top like this for yourself or to somebody else in your favorite colors. And there's also this different lace top on my channel, also easy to adjust to size, modeled by 2 of my daughters.